Hello, I'm Wes Allen. Welcome to What's a Preacher to Do, sponsored by the Perkins Center for Preaching Excellence. In this series of short interviews, we're asking scholars of diverse disciplines to help preachers bring a range of critical tools to bear on offering God's good news in relation to the variety of issues and concerns raised by the COVID-19 crisis. Today we have with us my colleague, Rebekah Miles. She is the professor of Ethics and Practical Theology at Perkins School of Theology, and she's an ordained elder in the United Methodist Church from Arkansas. So, Becca, what is a key insight from your expertise in moral theology that you think would be helpful to preachers during these difficult times?
Thanks, Wes. It's good to be here. So, I think for me as an ethicist, just to look and see what an extraordinary time this is to help people reflect on the moral life, on what it means to live a good life, what it means to live a life of faith. So that old saying, make hay while the sun shines, right? So you got to find the exact right time, right, when the hay is dried out. And once you get to that moment, it's hay baling time, right? You get in and you bale the hay. At this moment, not for hay baling, but for finding meaning, for helping people think about meaning, search for meaning, find moral meaning. And it's not because the sun's shining, it's because it's stormy. It's those times when people, I think, naturally ask those questions. And it's a rare opportunity for pastors. So I think helping people in sermons and other opportunities to ask those big questions and to look for new models for heroism, right? Look at the people around us who are showing altruism and think about what that looks like in different ways, perhaps. To be aware of our own sin, right? Our own shortcomings as we perhaps want to hoard the toilet paper or the Lysol wipes or whatever it is. Just to see that within ourselves, to see our own bad behavior and the bad behavior and the good behavior. It's like a big morality play, right? It's a call to altruism too. So what's odd is usually we think about being moral and living the moral life as going out and doing stuff. Right now, the moral thing to do for most of us, unless we're essential workers, it's to stay home. That's the work of mercy. That's the moral thing to do. But it also means it's a really rich time for us to be thinking about while we're here and to be led by our pastors to think about what it is that our life's about. I think too, for a society, this is the first time I've seen in a long, long time where we're putting a priority on taking care of the vulnerable, of the weak. That's extraordinary. And I think that gives us time to reflect on what we're about as a society. So it's a very, very rich time, I think, to be asking big ethical questions and for pastors to direct that head on because people are already asking those questions in their own lives.
Thank you so much. That's a great answer and a great help to preachers. If you don't mind, I'll ask a follow-up.
Yeah.
And that is sort of, what's next? So right now, stay at home is an act of altruism, as you named. It's our ethical responsibility. But what about afterwards, when we're able to go back out again? What about young people who for inspiration out of this? What would you suggest? How do preachers now help prepare for that moment?
Yeah, you would think that this, like 9/11 or other huge events, would be pivotal for young people. So I would expect, just like after 9/11, we saw many people join the military, the police, firefighters. I'm thinking you're probably going to see the same thing now, except with people becoming nurses and doctors and perhaps people becoming pastors too. I mean, asking those big life questions. We could use a bunch of good new pastors, keeping the old ones around too. But so I think, part of that preaching is to help us think about those big issues now so that when we can go out, we're propelled back into a world that's in need all the time, right? We see things differently. We see the brokenness right now in a way that we ordinarily don't, but it's been broken all along. So I think this brokenness and this time away gives us an opportunity to help people think about their lives and then to be propelled back into the world to help offer healing in a broken world.
Dr. Miles, thank you so much for giving us some of your time. We post these interviews every week or so from the center. I hope everybody will check them out. Thank you again.
Bless you. Good to see you. Take care.
Bye-bye.